Coach Hamilton, another big win in the AAC. We've talked about it before. They don't come easy, but they don't come much harder than that. A double overtime win over Canfield, a very good Canfield team that you guys hung on and just hung out and then end up with a big win on a big day for Mackenzie. Talk to me what's going through your mind pre-game, halftime, and then obviously going into double overtime.
You know, I told another person who interviewed me, there was just more than the game to this. You know, you want Kenzie to get those 4 points and knock them out early. You know, and when she missed that free throw in the first quarter, first half, whatever, you're like, oh my gosh, is she ever going to get there? You know, and at the same time, you're trying to win a game against one of the better teams in the whole area. You know, that team just keeps improving. They're going to be, they're so well coached with Coach Real, Coach Pav, Coach Krista does over there. You know, they just make everything difficult. Even when we jumped out to that lead in the second half, you know, I looked at my assistant and I said, you know, this is not going to be easy. They're not going to go away, and they kept going. So I think the first thing was once Kenzie got to that point, we were able to stop the game. I think she took a breath and then she could play. And then you saw the game kind of then unfold the way we wanted it to play. But there was all that nervous energy in the beginning. Is she going to get there or not?
It felt like forced a little bit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You tried not to make
Yes.
it. But I think Canfield was aware of it as well. Nobody wanted to be the defender that gave up that 1,000 point. When you think about what the adjustments were made during the game, what was the major adjustment that you had to make? I mean, we saw Jenna go down for Canfield early. How much of that went into your adjustments and your defense and things of that nature?
Well, I think the one thing I waited a little too long to adjust on was I kept Sarah on Dill maybe a little too long. When you're out there playing as hard as Sarah Barrow is on the offensive end and then glass rebounding, and then you ask her to take away or to guard arguably their best offensive player, it takes a lot of energy. And Kingman Hill just willed that team back. You know, that three she hit at the end was probably because we were a little tired. So what we did was we put Kenzie on her there in the second overtime, which I thought was a pretty good adjustment. Now, Dill still scored, but, you know, we had a little fresher body on her that made things a little more difficult. And then, you know, I think one thing that we did too was, you know, we had to get it to where Kenzie was getting the ball. We knew that was going to be the focal point, but then her letting the game play and getting those points around. So she was getting the ball, getting doubled, and then finding open people. So she wasn't forcing it a lot, although you get to some points where Kenzie's like, okay, I haven't scored in a while. I need to get this one. But then after that happened, we relaxed, moved the ball, and I thought we got her downhill better.